The top stories tonight in Y News. The Philippine Central Bank assures safe and sound local banking system amid banking turmoil affecting some lenders overseas.
The Department of Justice considers the refusal of Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Arnie Teves Jr. to return to the country as a flight or escape.
Amid the push for charter change in both chambers of Congress, an expert believes amending charter must not be limited to economic reforms.
And the United Nations backs Turkey and Ukraine for safe grain export deal extension to 120 days.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, the 17th of March, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am William Theo.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Kat Maraos.
First in the news. The Philippine Central Bank said that the local banking system remains safe and sound. This is amid concerns over the potential for contagion stemming from banking turmoil affecting some overseas lenders. Maribuhok will tell us why.
The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas said it is ready to respond to any contagion effects following failures of two mid-sized United States banks, which sparked fears that more lenders could suffer a run by depositors. But for now, the BSP said the local banking system remains safe and sound, adding that Philippine banks do not have any material exposure to the collapsed U.S. banks. The BSP statement comes on the heels of emergency measures taken late Sunday by the Federal Reserve and other U.S. regulators to assure all depositors of two failed banks, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Carlo Asuncion, chief economist of the Union Bank, also believes that the collapse of the said banks has no direct impact in the Philippines banking system.
I do not see any immediate or direct impact sa banking sector ng Pilipinas. No, I think because of, in fairness to the BSP, no, if we might call it strict supervision.
Silicon Valley Bank, as it's known, was the biggest U.S. lender to fail since 2008 global financial crisis and second biggest ever. According to Asuncion, the SVB has uncommon lending practices and the mismanagement may have been the primary cause of failure.
Like for example, sa case ng SVB, talagang unique kasi yung kanila. They are catering to clients that need their money right away kasi mga startups and they are venture capitalists that, you know, lend out money quickly and everywhere, anywhere that they think is very, good for them.
He added that to ensure the stability in the financial sector, the concerned groups or agencies should raise its transparency, accountability, and cooperations. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, we serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, considers the refusal of Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Arnie Teves to return to the country as a flight or escape. Dante Amento tells us why.
Justice Secretary Crispin Boying Remulla stressed that Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Arnie Teves Jr. has no reason not to face the accusations against him. Remulla added his refusal to return to the Philippines is an indication of guilt, and they will consider it as flight or escape.
These are poor excuses not to face the charges. And as in the legal maxims say, the action is flight is an indication of guilt.
If Teves will not return, they will just wait for the arrest warrant to be released for the next necessary steps. Remulla explained the Philippines has existing ties with other nations.
Pag nagkaroon na ng warrants, then we do the legal process. We have multilateral bilateral ties with other countries, we will do what's needed.
Meanwhile, some local mayors in Negros Oriental will have a meeting with the DOJ next week. This is to discuss some issues, particularly the investigation of other crimes in the province.
It's a pre-arranged thing. Inintelan namin malibing talaga si Governor Remulla. And of course, this frees their schedule up already for us to be able to meet them about many of the other crimes that they want investigated, that are there on record.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Amid the push for charter change in both chambers of Congress, an expert believes changing the Constitution should result to holistic reform in the country's system and not only in selected provisions. Harleen Delgado will tell us why.
Proponents from the Senate and the House of Representatives have been pushing to amend the Constitution, though they differ on how to do it. They say this is to allow more foreign direct investments in the country, but other Solons worry that tinkering with the Charter would involve political amendments. For Professor Edmund Tayaw of the Local Government Foundation and San Beda University Graduate School of Law, to change the Constitution is to change the system. Tayaw explains charter change should involve not only economic but systemic reforms to strengthen the country's public institutions and political landscape.
So sa totoo lang, masyadong personalistic yung politika natin, kaya kailangan baguhin yung sistema. I agree that we have to open up the economy. Pag binago natin ito at pumasok yung foreign capital, hindi naman ready yung ating public institutions. The very reason why we have to change the Constitution is because we want to strengthen our public institutions. We have very weak public institutions.
Tayo believes President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will not block the moves to Chacha if he sees that the people are convinced to proceed with amending the charter. On Monday, Senator Robin Padilla, who chairs the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments and Revision of Codes, will call for a hearing for House members to present their own version of proposed charter change. Padilla earlier said he's aware that he does not have the numbers in the Senate, as Chacha is not a priority in the upper chamber. But he hopes his party, the former ruling party PDP Laban, will have his back. The party's faction is chaired by former President Rodrigo Duterte, who advocated for federalism during his term. The party will convene on Tuesday, March 21, where Chacha is expected to be discussed.
Kung ang party system sa Pilipinas ay magiging bulahan lang, magi-independent na lang po ako, kaya may partido, ibig sabihin, kayo ay nagkakaisa. Kung ako mismo sa partido, kailangan pa akong maligaw ng kapartido ko, malabo yata yun. Siguro ang akin pong opinion ang kapartido ko dapat lagi kong kasama, lalo na sa usapin ng charter change po.
Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, extended the dry run of exclusive motorcycle lane along Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City for another week. JP Nunez will tell us why.
To give way to the patching works undertaken by the Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, on potholes along Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, decided to extend the dry run of the exclusive motorcycle lane until March 26. It was originally scheduled to end by March 19 and will commence by March 20, Monday. In the official statement released by the MMDA, Acting Chairman Romando Artes explains that the patchworks in the area will continue to address issues along Commonwealth Avenue. Motorcycle riders lament the potholes along motorcycle lane as it forces them to come out from their exclusive lane.
Lubak-lubak pa rin yan, sir, lalo yung dyan sa may bago dumating ng Luzon, masyadong malubak yung daanan dyan, saka malalalim yung hukay. Ayusin muna nila, kailangan patawid muna nila yung mga lubak-lubak doon bago nila ipano yung motorcycle lane kasi delikado masyado.
May mga area lang naman kasi talaga na malubak, na nasisira. Syempre, umiiwas kami dun sa lubak.
Based on the data from the MMDA, there are almost 10,000 motorists flagged down from the first 8 days of the dry run from March 9 to March 16. More than 2,000 of them are motorcycle riders, while more than 7,500 are private vehicles. Once exclusive motorcycle lane along Commonwealth Avenue is strictly implemented, violators will be fined 500 pesos. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for our news abroad, the resistance to the Myanmar military pursues and shows no signs of ease, with both sides of parties intend to win by force and not a settlement. Jane Robles explains why live. Jane?
Kath, since the Myanmar military coup which took place back in February 2021, the country has faced many adversaries with devastating violence consistently enforced by the military. The United Nations Special Envoy in Myanmar, Noeleen Heyzer, spoke among 193 members in the UN General Assembly, detailing the country's current state. She explains the increase in violence from the state of emergency, like bombings, setting civilian infrastructure ablaze, and the continuation of human rights abuse. The military took such actions to maintain power through their four-cut strategy, which involves restricting food access, funds, information, and frame civilians as collective punishment. According to Special Envoy Heyzer, people are unable to exercise their political rights without fearing the violence of military, as there is also no trust in the regime. Meanwhile, Kath, according to Ms. Heyzer, over 17.6 million people require humanitarian assistance as the new areas of fighting have spread. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Jane Robles, for that report live from Vietnam. An agreement between Russia and Ukraine, which was mediated by the United Nations or UN and Turkey to allow safe export of grain from Ukrainian Black Sea ports, is due to expire on Saturday, March 18. Russia has announced that they would only extend the deal for 60 days, although Turkey and Ukraine have called for a 120-day extension. Senior UN and Russian officials met in Geneva on Monday to discuss the pact, according to UN spokesman Stephanie Dujarric. Although Russia has not explained why it only wants a 60-day renewal, it has complained about the Western sanctions, wherein its own food and fertilizer exports are being hindered due to restrictions on payments and logistics. Under the deal, nearly 25 million tons of corn and wheat have been exported by Ukraine so far, which were primarily shipped to China, Italy, Spain, Turkey, and the Netherlands. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin also said that China would like to communicate with all parties and increase global food security. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Kath. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook.
It has been 3 years since the COVID-19 virus entered the country. Despite some adjustments made by the government to improve the healthcare system in the country, understaffing and low wages for healthcare workers have been among top concerns. Gladys Tawabi will tell us why.
Before the COVID-19 pandemic, healthcare workers in the country had already experienced some gaps in the healthcare system. Among these are health facilities, low salaries, and long working hours.
Isang napakalaking hamon ang idinulot nito sa ating healthcare system. Bago pa man nagkaroon ng pandemya, matagal na problema ang kakulangan ng maayos na mga pasilidad sa ating mga pampublikong ospital.
These gaps were much felt after COVID-19 affected the country.
Dahil patuloy ang pagdagsa ng mga pasyente sa mga ospital, ay napilitan ng ibang mga frontliners na mag-multitasking at maging flexible upang matugunan ang understaffing o kakulangan ng manpower.
To better improve the healthcare system in the Philippines, especially in responding to the effects of the COVID-19, the Department of Health assessed the government has made the needed adjustments.
The country has adjusted so much because of the different effects of this pandemic to our healthcare system. Nung nag-umpisa po tayo, nakita natin yung mga kakulangan at mga gaps natin sa healthcare system.
There are already more than 300 RT-PCR laboratories in the country to check samples and detect virus. Also, there are more quarantine and isolation facilities available in various areas. Apart from this, allowances were given to medical frontliners for their dedication in helping individuals infected by the COVID-19. However, after 3 years since COVID-19 started, understaffing and low salaries have remained to be an issue for healthcare workers.
Yung kakulangan na malalang understaffing hanggang ngayon, tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Kaya yung ating mga nurses ngayon, mga health workers, ay talagang hindi pa rin sila bumabalik sa dati nilang 8 hours duty.
These gaps are among the main reasons why more Filipino nurses and doctors opt to work abroad.
Kaya nagagalit tayo dahil parang walang pagpapahalaga ang ating gobyerno sa usapin ng kagalingan at karapatan ng mga health workers. In fact, ma'am, hanggang sa kasalukuyan, kahit sa panahon ng pandemya, meron tayong mga tinatawag na mga benepisyo na hindi pa rin natatapos ibigay.
Robert Mendoza of the Alliance of National Healthcare Workers hopes that the government would give attention to the interests and needs of healthcare workers in the country. Gladys Tuabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
69% of unvaccinated Filipinos in the country are still not interested to be vaccinated based on the latest social weather station survey. Meanwhile, a health official said it may increase the spread of the virus. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
Social Weather Stations, or SWS, released the latest COVID-19 vaccination rate in the country. Based on the report, 69% of the total 13% unvaccinated in the country are still hesitant to be vaccinated. 12% of those individuals are willing to be vaccinated, and 19% are undecided. Caloocan City Health official Dr. Rachel Bases said there are many risks in the community if some individuals are still unvaccinated. She said it could increase the spread of the virus.
Malaking-malaki ang panganib ng pagkakaroon ng COVID-19, lalong-lalo na ang severe form nito kung tayo ay hindi bakunado. Una sa lahat, mayroong iba't ibang variant sa maaring dumapo sa atin. At kapag nangyari ito, pihado tayong maaapektuhan at ang ating pamilya. As we know, not only does COVID-19 vaccine decrease our chance of getting COVID, it also decreases our chance of spreading it.
Meanwhile, unvaccinated student John Rafael Alivio said he is willing to be vaccinated but feared to experience side effects from the vaccine which may result to possible absence in school.
In the middle of the school year po ako magpapabakuna, yung mga side effects po is ang magkakos nun is magiging absent po ako, and napaka-importante po sa akin na hindi ako makakuha ng absent sa pagpasok. And ako po, willing po talaga ako. Kumbaga, ang iniisip ko lang po talaga ngayon is yung sa absent nga po.
The SWS survey was conducted last December 10 to 14 with 1,200 respondents and have a sample error margin of ±2.8%. Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Protesters have gathered in Concorde Square in Paris after French President Emmanuel Macron announces retirement age increase to 64. Charis Langbowen will give us the details live. Yes, Charis?
Good evening, Kath. As part of his goal for his second term in power, France President Emmanuel Macron imposed a bill that will raise the retirement age from 62 to 64. The decision was made moments before a scheduled parliamentary vote, which Macron said that he needed to use constitutional power as there was no guarantee for him to get majority of the parliament. In addition, he argued that the pension changes is needed to prolong pensioning system and to prevent the country's economy to decline as population and life expectancy lengthens. Prime Minister Elizabeth Bourne also formally announced the decision while quoting Article 49.3, which allows the government to avoid votes within the parliament. On the other hand, Macron's opposition in parliament are proposing to file a no-confidence motion, which threatens the current government to step down if the motion is approved by the majority of the parliament. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Charizong Bowen, reporting live from Japan. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
The oil spill has reached Calapan City in Oriental Mindoro. Traces of oil slick were found in barangays of Navotas, Sitio Nag-Iba, Sitio Villa Antonio, and Barangay Maidlang. Barangay Navotas residents have been preparing an improvised oil spill boom for more than a week so that the oil doesn't enter their mangroves. The local government announced today, March 17, that eating seafood from Calapan, including fishing activities and drinking water in the well 100 meters away from the sea, is banned. The elderly are also prohibited to go in areas 100 meters away from the sea. The Philippine Coast Guard has started removing traces of oil slicks in the coast in Calapan City. Mayor Malu Morillo called on her constituents not to be too worried about the traces of the oil spill in their area. The local government urges residents to donate empty plastic bottles that will be used in making improvised booms. Calapan City is the 10th town in Oriental Mindoro that has been affected by the oil spill from the sunken MT Princess Empress.
Over 300 hog farmers have returned to swine raising in their respective areas following an outbreak of African swine fever in Bulacan. Meanwhile, the Sorsogon City District Jail has distributed sweet pastries to inmates. Alan Manansala will tell us why.
After being affected by the African swine fever or ASF, the hog farming industry in Bulacan is once again thriving. Year 2010, when most hog raisers suffered heavy loss after their livestock died from the virus. 2 days ago, the provincial government of Bulacan distributed 975 sentinel pigs and 2,925 bags of hog feeds to impoverished hog raisers. Each hog raiser received 3 young pigs and 6 sacks of feeds. According to Dr. Voltaire Basinang, the Provincial Director of Bulacan Veterinary Office, they did not receive any reports on any swine-related deaths due to ASF this year. From the records of the Bureau of Animal Industry or BAI, 9 towns in Bulacan were reportedly free from ASF. This includes the city of San Jose del Monte and the municipalities of Santa Maria and Norsagaray. They were also simply awaiting the result from the BAI in order to declare the whole province free from ASF.
Sa ngayon kasi, wala naman tayong nababalitaan o nadidetect na nagpa-positive for ASF. Nasa red zone pa rin yung ibang mga bayan. Naghihintay pa kami ng declaration ng PAI para maging pink zone siya o locally declared per municipality and declaration ng PAI. No? May mga kailangan lang silang comply tulad nung sa ordinance, historical data, kailangan ipasa doon sa kanila, zero surveillance.
Meanwhile, the joint military exercise of the Philippines and United States is ongoing in the Ramon Magsaysay Fort in Palayan City, Nueva Ecija. The military exercise entailed 1,500 Philippine Army soldiers from the 7th Infantry Division, 5th Infantry Division and 1st Brigade Combat Team, alongside 1,489 U.S. Army personnel from the 3rd Brigade Combat Team of the 25th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army joined the exercise. The training includes base patrolling, tactical communication, missile subject matter expert exchange, logistics, jungle survival exercise battle drill, multi-domain operation, and civil military operations. The Salaknib 2023 is a yearly military training exercise designed to enhance defense capabilities and readiness by establishing tactical interoperability between Filipino and American soldiers. Through the country's initiative, the objective of this activity is to strengthen the Philippines and United States Mutual Defense Treaty. In commemoration of the 2023 Women's Month celebration, the 50 personnel have distributed crinkle pastries and ube pandesal to the inmates of Sorsogon City District Jail. The baked products, which were both from the Legazpi City District Jail, intended to also help the bakery livelihood program of the Welfare and Development Program of the said facility. The pastries were distributed by senior citizens and the personnel of the Sorsogon City Jail. Alan Manansala, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
In other news, the municipal government of La Trinidad Benguet prepares in full swing for the main events of the Strawberry Festival 2023. The festive celebration will also highlight a twin giant strawberry shortcake to be previewed during a ceremony this Saturday, March 18. Grace Flores will tell us why.
About 10,000 local and international tourists are expected to take part in the celebration of the Strawberry Festival 2023 main events this weekend, prompting municipal officials of La Trinidad and event organizers to prepare in full swing for a sweet, colorful, and lively presentation of the much-awaited Remulla groups, street dance participants, and float parade in the main events of the festivity this Saturday, March 18.
Where we will witness yung performances ng ating community. So, yung mga performers po, yung kasali sa drum and lyre, street dancing, and small floats ay nanggaling po sa mismong community ng La Trinidad. So, this is our community celebration and of course a tourism celebration also.
Arrival of Malaysian guests from the municipality's sister city along with other foreign guests were also expected to taking part in the said event. The festivity will also highlight a twin giant shortcake to be unveiled during a ceremony after the morning presentations on Saturday. The giant shortcake also features a white colored variety of strawberry known as the Charlie variety.
Ang height niya is 7 feet, ang length is 14 feet, ang diameter ay 5 feet each. Medyo manipis ng konti sana. So ang kasali doon ay 4 nating local bakers.
La Trinidad achieved its Guinness World title in 2004 as the largest strawberry shortcake, weighing more than 21,000 pounds or 9,622 kilos. La Trinidad Mayor Romeo Salder earlier said that this year's festivity aims to be a festival of recovery, as all suspended tourist drawing activities in the municipality are now in its full operations after strict restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Grace Flores, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity from Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time through the social media accounts of Members Church of God International.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God from the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 21. It says, providing for honest things, not only in the sight of the Lord, but also in the sight of man. And those are the reasons behind the news March 17, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I'm Kat Maraos, live from Bangkok, Thailand.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.